After 10, Monday morning, just after 9. Good morning, Gerry. That's the tune I've grown to love. Good morning. Press a few buttons. I hear the sound of imminent panic coming from Radio Foyle. Hello, Gerry.
Mike.
Hello. Hello. Are you not hearing me, Gerry? Oh, well, that's a shame. Just keep talking. Hello? Oh, there's music.
Through the night, I wanna hold her tight. Get teenage kicks right through the night. I wanna hold her tight. Get teenage kicks right through the night. All right.
Right, okay, that's better. I'm sorry about that. I think John should know. In case John feels guilty, in case John thinks it's from his end. Well, what happened was Mr. Anderson forgot to plug in his headphones.
Well, it can happen to a bishop. Anybody could happen. Well,
Yes.
they were in when I came down. You see what happened?
Of course, they fell out.
No, what happened is I moved my chair and they were attached to the chair and the chair pulled it out and I forgot to look. It could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen you do worse.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry anyway. I hope that people aren't too offended or indeed upset by that. We'll just carry on as if nothing happened, all right?
All right, then.
I'll turn you off now.
Thank you.
Now, hold on a minute. No, you hang on a second.
Why?
Because I've no record in either.
Who was that singing?
I don't know. It was somebody who just came on. No, I'll tell you who
was
it
it?
was. Oh, let me tell the people who that was. That was Mickey Hart, of all people. Remember Mickey Hart represented Ireland in the Eurovision Song Contest? Yes. It's from his new album. It's called Sometimes Right, Sometimes Wrong. It's his new song. It's called Teenage Kicks by the Undertones, one of which is in Next Door.
That's right.
Indeed.
So that's Mickey's new release?
No, it's not.
Well, you said it was.
I know I did, but I lied. It's actually from his new album. The album is his new release, one of the tracks on the album. And it's a very good album it is too, and I'm very pleased to get the opportunity to play it, even though it came on in a rather rushed manner. Mm-hmm. But let's pretend as if nothing happened. Let's pretend as if this started the way all the other programmes normally start, smoothly and without incident. Right. So I'll just start into the spiel. I'll turn you off and I'll go into the spiel.
Thank you.
That's what I'll do now. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Gerald Michael Anderson here. A Friday morning. Phew! What a scorcher. It's really hot. The perspiration is rolling down between my shoulder blades and indeed the sweat as well. But never mind that. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme is 08459 555 678. I'll just repeat that, 08459 555 678. You can send me an email if you wish. The machine is warmed up and the white light is gone. It's gerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. Here's a man who sent me an email already. He's called Stephen. He's from Newry by the look of it. And he said, he complains about the way this programme was conducted yesterday. I was going to say the conduction of the programme, but I realised that was the wrong thing to say. He said, I agree with Mr. Coyle. You spoilt what could have been a great radio argument yesterday by ganging up on the challenger when you were talking to Geordie and the man who had the alternative method of mixing whitewash. I think you should try and rearrange a match with Geordie and his new pretender slugging it out over various whitewash mixes, and maybe even a few brushes at dawn finale to paint the walls of some house and see what the test of time does. Well, I admit I hold up my hand and I say that I did interrupt the flow. It's because Geordie said fart, and I thought it was important to interject at that point. Right, here, could you please play please say a very happy birthday to Bobby McGlade, who's got, he's 60 today, and that's a very bad age. It's all downhill from there. People say 50 is the new 40, and 60 is the new 50, but 60 is the old 60. Remember that. Today, that was 2 days ago. It took me a while to read this. Lots of love from Christine, Martin, Aoife, and Fiontan, another Irish name which I have trouble with. And I've something else to read here before I go any further. Let me just check what it is. Oh yes, we mentioned yesterday a gentleman rang up and said that there was an ad for the DVLNI, which I don't know what it is, something to do with driving licenses and taxes and car tax and clamping cars. He said there was a big billboard or a poster which showed a vintage car had been clamped, and he got great mileage out of the fact. He thought it was very funny. The fact he said that vintage cars are exempt from taxation, thereby, said he, the DVLNI looking like fools. But apparently this is not the case. A gentleman called Brian McCall, who's the bureau manager of the Strabane Citizens Advice Bureau, says, it's not often that I stick up for the DVLNI, but in their defence, I've pasted below an extract from the CAB info system that clearly states vintage cars must still have their exemption renewed annually. Presumably, if this is not done, the car can be clamped. Vehicles made before the 1st of January 1973, 29A clamped, will not have to pay road tax on a non-commercial vehicle which was made before the 1st of January 1973. Non-commercial vehicles include preserved tractors, steam vehicles, fire engines and lorries no longer used for commercial purposes. A vehicle which is qualified for exemption from road tax on age grounds must still be licensed annually or 6 monthly, and a VED disc stating that no duty is payable must be displayed. Well, are we not splitting hairs here? Are we not saying that they don't need road tax, but they need a little round thing to say that they don't need to pay it? So how can you clamp a person if they haven't got a little round disc saying they didn't have to pay any money when they didn't pay any money? It's one of those interminable questions. I won't trouble you more with that. I've read you the information. Make of it what you will. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. It seems that I was right and the gentleman was right in the first place, and everyone else is wrong.
But I think I feel the power. Tell me, where do you guys wanna go to? Well, I could go for that, but I need to buy a hat. I think I saw some for sale on the small streets. Can I play the game without a plan? I think Pete has the map, but tell me what's the difference? I do not know exactly where I am. I'm an American in Amsterdam. Jesus, I see us standing in between us, preaching words that he doesn't believe. I think that he is cracking, cause he keeps calling me captain, and he's barking and growling at strangers. Later on tonight, he's gonna turn back into Elvis when they kick his ass out of the sex show. We played in a band that has no fans. I think he lost the map, we don't know where we're going. I'm trying to remember who I am. I'm an American in Amsterdam. I'm an American in Amsterdam. I'm an
but the English are sick, drunk and raging. Hey Bono, they said when they threw peanuts at my head and said, hey Nerf, can we try on your glasses? Now I am just a dork, but listen, I come from New York, so I said, hey, what are you guys, Irish? Kids play the game without a plan. We puked on the map, we don't know where we're going. I do not know exactly who I am. I'm an American in Amsterdam. 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 I'm an American in Amsterdam.
Right, that's a band called Wheatus. That's a song called An American in Amsterdam. I played that a number of times. I think it's really good. It's coming up to 18 minutes to 11 o'clock. A lady writes to me from Coleraine. She says, I won't give her name. She says, I'm an old fan of yours. I'm writing to ask if I could have a copy. Sorry, I can't talk today. It'll pass. If I might have a copy of a couple of your funny poems. Well, I don't write the funny poems. It's another man. The gentleman who writes my poems, writes the poem. I can't talk. I can't find a happy person at the minute, she says. Not a smile, not a joke. Well, you know, that's unusual, isn't it? What is happening to the people, she says. I have a walk uptown once a week, but I usually come back quite depressed. And I like your programme, as so many oddballs call you. These aren't oddballs, these are the citizens, these are the Northern Islanders. And you can cope so well with them. I like talking to them, I have to say. I'm an aunt of Anthony Toner. He's a singer we feature on this programme quite often. I am so pleased when you played his music last week. It was a pleasure. He's hard working at the music. Well, he obviously sounds it. Well, I'll send you a couple of poems. I will. I'll put a little collection together. And a gentleman rings me this morning. He said he's tried everywhere to find a video copy of a film called Tammy. Do you remember that? I hear the cottonwills whistling above Tammy.
Debbie Reynolds.
Tammy's in love. The old hooty owl. Hooty hoos to the dove. Tammy, Tammy, Tammy's in love. Da 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 dee, dee dee dee. When she comes near, my heart beats so wonderfully. I wish that he were near.
It's very good. I was enjoying it. I was back at the show band scene there. I could just see you in your white suit with your bass guitar. Stand up there in your chessman outfit.
I know. Do you know what I'm going to...
Who was that? Was that Debbie Reynolds?
Yes, it was.
Did she sing
Reynolds.
it?
She did, actually.
And Tab Hunter? Was it?
I don't know.
No,
sounds like a drink. No, I don't know.
What was that about?
I don't know.
Tammy?
I don't know what it was about. All I'm wondering is, was the film called Tammy?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
The theme song was called Tammy. Yeah. It may not have been the title of the film. I don't know if you know.
What's that line again? The old hooty owl?
The old hooty owl, hooty hoos to the dove.
That's wonderful. Old hooty owl, hooty hoos.
Hooty, no, as we say here in Northern Ireland, hooty hey. The old hooty owl, hooty haze. Do you know what I have rapidly come to the conclusion that us Northern Irelanders can't exist in the sun? Have you seen some of the people walking around?
Aye.
Have you seen the response of some of them to, as it says in the paper, Northern Ireland baking in the 20s? Have you noticed some of the things that people are wearing?
No.
Have you noticed that? No. And I'm not denigrating the people, Sean. You know I wouldn't do that. These are my people. These are your people. These are my relatives. These are my family. These are my friends. These are my peers. These are my colleagues. People I've grown up with. But you see, what happens is, you see, we don't have a wardrobe for sun.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
I do.
So everyone has got the dilemma. See, what happens is, you see, you wear your ordinary clothes. You know your black suit. No way you wear your black suit and your jumper all the time.
Yeah.
Well, you see, that's great for 364 days of the year, probably. Yeah. You know. Yeah. But then there comes a day, maybe even 360 days, maybe there's 5. Then there comes a day like maybe yesterday or the day before where you've got tropical heat.
And today.
Yes. I'm glad you added that.
Yes.
And today. So about 2 days ago, a lot of people realised that the clothes they were wearing were inadequate totally. Mm-hmm. Now, and not being terribly rich up here, Sean.
Right.
We can't go out and buy new clothes like the rest of the people can because we're all on the dough.
Right.
So what they had to do is rummage through their wardrobes to find something that they could wear in the sun. And it's quite surprising some of the things that come out of the wardrobes. I saw a man yesterday and he wore something and I have never seen it before. I've never seen anything like it before. It was like a kind of a World War II vest.
Right.
You don't care about this at all.
I don't know what a World War II vest looks like.
It's all string. You know the string vest?
It's not the World War II. They come out in the string vests come out in the...
You have no idea when the string vest... Don't be silly. The World War II vest, the string vest during the war, of course they had.
I don't think so.
They had so. Well, you see, a string vest...
No, because the American GIs would have had them. Yes. They had the light green...
So they were sloppy joes, they called them.
That was a vest. They had a round neck.
Don't argue with me. Just say yes.
No,
just agree with me, just once.
No. The string vest came out in the...
When did the string vest come out?
I would say about in end of the...
You have no idea when the string vest...
I'm saying the late 60s.
Do you know the worst about a string vest? If you lie out on your back...
One.
I have a number of them.
Had you?
Yes, indeed, yes. But the worst thing about a string vest is when you lie out in the sun in one, the obvious thing happens.
Yes. Crissy-crossy.
Crissy-crossy.
Right. Oh, right.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. So you saw a man yesterday wearing a string vest?
It wasn't just a string vest. He was wearing a string vest and he wore these trousers and they were like, I don't know, they were like Gurkha trousers.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? See, people don't know what to wear. Now, I'm not denigrating the people, as I say. Let me rush to say that I am not denigrating the people. It's just that we don't know what to wear. See, we don't like wearing shorts. Many of us don't like wearing shorts. Now, I would say that you probably don't like wearing shorts. At home?
At home?
Yes, at home.
No.
You'll wear... I know you're a man who... I've seen you in shorts, and it's not a pretty sight.
No.
I've seen you in shorts outside the country.
Yes.
I've never seen you wearing shorts here. But then again, maybe now that you've probably never seen me wearing shorts. Of course, I wear shorts all the time at home. But you see, there is... Do you remember the time...
If I went to the beach, I'd wear shorts.
But
I'd walk along the beach.
If you're walking through the streets of your native town...
No.
Why not? You'd be afraid of the opprobrium of your neighbours.
Yeah.
You'd be afraid that wee boys would look at your legs. And indeed, they are an ugly sight. But the thing is that you wouldn't do that.
No.
And many people wouldn't do that as well. And isn't that amazing? In these early years of the 21st century, there are still people who are embarrassed to wear shorts. Not that there may be anything necessarily wrong with their legs. It's just it's like, do you know, remember the time you would never push a pram?
Aye.
Remember that time? That's still, I know people still who would never push a pram. Men.
It's the socks that get me.
But you see, you can't wear socks when you wear shorts.
I know, but men will wear black socks.
And sandals.
Yes.
Crisscrossed leather sandals with black socks.
The socks that get you.
And the shorts look terrible. And a lot of men have, those wee lumps in their legs.
What do you mean?
The wee lumps they have in their legs.
Oh.
The varicose veins.
Oh.
You know that? Oh. And you can get those. You don't have to be an old person to get that. Do you ever see people walking along with, maybe you don't want to talk about this, maybe you have lumps in your own legs.
I don't.
Have you?
No.
Come on, are you sure?
I know I have.
Are you positive?
You
have no lumps?
No
but
lumps.
You know, just kind of little lumps, in the back of your shit. What are your lumps? What do you call that thing?
Lumps?
The calf. In your calf. Like warts.
Yeah.
You don't like that. Do you know, and the men have that. And a lot of men have lumps in their veins, like wee knots in their veins, like knots in string. And this comes from too many fags, too many pints of beer, too many hamburgers, and too many nights sitting in front of the fire. This happens all the time. So a lot of our men folk, all I'm saying to you is, Sean, a lot of our men folk are unsuitable to be seen wearing summer clothes, and they know it. But they make an effort. Now, the women are different. See, they're far too fat. Do you know a lot of stuff hanging out. There's a lot
belly.
Of
bellies.
Amongst other things that shouldn't be seen. There are a lot of women walking about who should not be showing, shouldn't be doing that. Shouldn't be showing things that they have.
But sure, they can't help it.
I know they can't help it, but, in a perfect world, they've spent too long a time.
Well, what are they? What's a woman?
All I'm saying is, they've let themselves
run around wearing a duffel coat.
They've let themselves go. You see, what happens is during the summer months, they've stuffed themselves full of, look at you go.
Right.
You know, they've stuffed themselves full of Bounty bars. It's all funny, wheelbarrow. And they've stuffed themselves full of spuds and hamburgers and chips.
So a woman, because you don't like the look of the women, you think...
They're paying the price for the life that they lead.
You're saying they're all fat. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying many of them are.
Well, you should say, the ones that are a wee bit heavy should wear cardigans.
No.
Well, what should they do?
They should wear light cotton dresses to conceal all the blubber. That's what they should do. You see, they don't know not to do that. And they shouldn't wear tight trousers. And they shouldn't wear those jeans, that have the gap. Because the big fold is over there. Right. You see, what I'm trying to say, Sean, I don't want to denigrate our women in any way. I don't want to feel as if there are people listening. All I'm saying, there are a lot of women knocking about Northern Ireland who don't look as well as they should because of what they do during the winter. They're throwing vodkas and white lemonades in them and smoking fags and eating hamburgers and spuds and everything. The horrible soda farrels and stuff like that. You have to pay for that. That's your
diet?
I know. So I know. It's only because I have brown fat in my back that I look great.
You look great.
Because I have brown fat. Look at me, not a much of fat on me.
Yeah.
I'm like a lean fighting machine. But the reason I am that is because I've got brown fat.
You don't have to wear a bra.
Only at weekends.
Well, but we're talking about women now.
But you see, men are the same. There's a lot of men with big bellies. So look at you.
Well,
look at you. Huh. You're on the way down. You need to watch yourself. You need to take hold of yourself. But you see, I'm only warning you. But, it's not too late for you. If you start to...
Well, what should I do?
Well, exercise.
Well, I walk everywhere.
That's not exercise.
What's that?
Cats walk. It's not. No, what you should do, you should swim and run, not like me.
When did you start running?
Tomorrow.
What's that all about?
Did you get anything from that?
No, that's what I'm just asking.
No, I don't remember what I said.
No.
Was any of it make any sense?
There's a fat woman on the line.
I'm sure there is.
Well, we came across a little town about 5 miles south of Mino. A pretty little place. Population 500. Well, we rounded everybody up in the centre of town. Men at the front, women at the back. Standard procedure. Didn't want any trouble. Sort of. We want your water. We want your water. We want your water. We want your water. Well, we had 7 trucks with us that day. 2 of them were full, and one of them was used for recreational purposes. Well, the plan was we fill up the remaining 4 trucks, steal what we could, leave town, head on for the next one. As far as I was concerned, we're only there for the one thing. We want your water. We want your water. We want your water. We want your water. Jim started shooting. He killed 4 of the men and 3 of the women. I found out later he wasted 8 shots in total. Well, then I had to use one on him. Well, his brother Jake didn't take too kindly to this and took a shot at me. He
That's a great record. That's a band called Corrigan, an Irish band. That's a song called Water Ballad. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Oh dear. Hello. Sorry, there's an awful echo there. Can you do anything about that? Yes, sorry.
Is that better?
Pardon?
Is that any better?
That's much better, yes, thanks. Sorry, who am I talking to? I don't know.
It's Ian.
Yes, hello, good morning, sir.
I'll tell you what it is, Jerry. My father and his couple of brothers and his friend was in a video in the 70s for the BBC.
Yes.
Right, and it was to do with the troubles and all that old caper about if there had been more in the army, that these bad guys wouldn't have got away.
Right.
Right, but we've been trying to get a hold of it, and I decided to phone you to see if you could help us get it.
Well, it was obviously a television programme, was it?
It was actually an advert.
An advert?
Yes.
Was it on television or was it at the cinema?
It was on television.
Right. Well, what was the ad again? Why did you catching terrorists? One of them ones.
One of them ones.
One of those. Why are you out watching terrorists? Catching terrorists? Remember they used to do that. What are you bothering me for?
Yes, that's the sort
one of those, was it? Well, that's like a whole deep well, that, isn't it? Well, who was in it? Who was it? Somebody belonging to you was in it?
Yes, but my dad was in it, and my granddad and my dad's two brothers.
Right.
Was in it. We've been trying to get a hold of it, and I can't.
You need to be more specific as to what exactly it was.
Well, it was an advert for joining the army.
Oh, right.
And, the way it was put across was that if there was more joined the army, that these bad guys wouldn't have got away.
Yeah, a theory that has since then been kind of disproved.
Yes.
So in other words, they were saying, join the army and get rid of all these boys. And the more the merrier, we'll outnumber them.
Yes.
We'll root them out. So that was basically the content of the ad.
Yes.
All right, well, that seems to be enough. I would say the chance of getting that are quite slim because I don't know anybody who's ever videoed an ad and kept it.
No, I'm talking about, would the BBC not have a...
No, the BBC might have it.
You know as well as I do, Sean, the BBC will keep nothing.
You don't know. There might be a man there in charge of ads who keeps ads.
A man in charge of prevention of people getting ads?
He might be there.
I don't know.
He might be called Davy.
He will be called Davy.
Yeah.
Is Davy there? Is Davy in charge of the ads? He's down there. He was there a minute ago, but his coat's on the chair. He could be too far away. Okay, his car keys.
So when did you find out?
Yeah, I'll do that, yeah. Okay. I'll do that today.
Right. That's all. That's
Why
all
did you do it? That's your...
That's all Ian says, because you're in the BBC all the time. You're always in making TV programs.
I am indeed, yes. You're hardly ever there.
No.
TV, no. T, no. No. TV, yes. T, no. Well, I can't fill you with any confidence. I can't promise you anything.
But you'll try.
Well, maybe someone out there would know more about it than I do. All I can say is I could put it to the great Northern Ireland public, the Northern Irelanders out there. They should be able to maybe come up. I may have troubled myself because, ever since Marshall left, it hasn't been the same.
No, that's right.
Sorry, that's a wee private joke. We'll do the best we can.
Right, you see what you can do, enjoy.
Okay, and maybe in the meantime, if anyone can help us, give us a ring here at 08459 555 678, okay?
Just in case we get calls here, Geraldine, it's an ad that was on the TV in the 1970s.
Yes,
join the army.
Right. Yes.
Okay, well...
Okay, we'll do our best for you, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Cheers now.
Bye. Here's no more chance of getting that. As you have of getting the warts off your leg.
Apparently it was Leslie Nielsen.
Be back after the news.
92 to 95 FM.
And 1341 medium wave.
BBC Radio Ulster.
It's 11 o'clock and this is the news with Erin Alexander. The Ulster Cancer Foundation says women should carefully consider new research which suggests that the most common form of hormone replacement therapy, or HRT, can double the risk of developing breast cancer. Government health advisors have written to all doctors with details of the study. More than 1 million women are being advised to discuss their treatment with their GPs. Dr. Valerie Beryl is the author of the research. She says the effects of the drugs used in HRT are seen very quickly.
After 1 to 2 years after starting, the risk becomes apparent, and the longer you take it, the higher the risk. But the good news, in effect, in a way, is that if you stop taking HRT, the risks go back the same as if you've never taken HRT within about 5 years. They fall straight away, but they're back to normal within about 5 years.
A rooftop protest which closed a large part of Belfast city centre has ended after a man who climbed a derelict building came down voluntarily. Conor Macaulay reports.
The man climbed onto the roof of a disused building at the back of the Castle Court shopping complex around 1:30 this morning. It's understood he was claiming to protest about the situation in Maghaberry Jail, where 4 inmates are having their own rooftop sit-out to highlight their claim for prisoner segregation. A large area of the city centre was sealed off and the fire brigade was on standby. Divisional Officer Gordon Latimer.
We have what we call an aerial platform ladder, which has effectively got a cage in one end of it. We can take our operators up, and if need be, then the gentleman could have got into that cage and we could have brought him safely to the ground.
As it turned out, the brigade wasn't needed. Police negotiators spent hours liaising with the man, who appeared at times to be agitated and at one point threatened to jump. Shortly after 9 o'clock, he was persuaded to climb down and was arrested on suspicion of attempted burglary.
5 British men and a Canadian who were jailed for a bombing campaign in Saudi Arabia have been freed. Their lawyer says they have now left the country. The Saudi embassy in London has confirmed the 6 have been granted royal clemency. They were convicted of bombings in 2000 and 2001. The US military says they've killed 2 Iraqis who were selling weapons at a market in Saddam Hussein's hometown Tikrit. They say a 3rd Iraqi was captured at a hospital where he was being treated and another is on the run. Matthew Price reports from Baghdad.
The incident appears to have happened at a market in the town of Tikrit, a stronghold of support for the former Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein. A US military source confirmed to reporters that they had positioned snipers around the market, having heard that weapons and ammunition were sold there every Friday. The source said his men had watched as one man got out of a vehicle carrying a gun. When other weapons were then brought out of the vehicle, the men were shot. The sheer number of weapons in Iraq is a worry for US forces, who find themselves under attack every day. This incident comes a day after the US commander on the ground said his men would adopt a less heavy-handed approach when carrying out raids.
A family from Spain on holiday in the northeast of England have complained that it's too hot in the UK. The Moldeno family from Madrid are staying with relatives in Cleveland. They say that sightseeing in the current heatwave is an ordeal. Dear me. And it's not going to get much better for the Moldenos. Today will remain sunny and very warm with highs of 27 Celsius. BBC Radio Ulster News.
BBC Radio Ulster.
Travel news. Looking ahead to tomorrow, and the Upper Newtownards Road will be closed heading towards Dundonald. That's from Hawthornden Road to Castle Hill Road from 6 tomorrow evening until 8 o'clock on Sunday evening, and that's due to resurfacing work. Diversions will be via Hawthornden Way, Belmont Road, Massey Avenue, Castle Hill Road, and then on to the Upper Newtownards Road. One inward lane will remain open while the work takes place. And there's a pipe band competition in Portrush tomorrow. Heavy traffic is expected in the town. Ulster Bus will not be using the Metropole stop, and passengers will be dropped off and picked up at Dunluce Avenue. Deirdre Harshaw reporting.
Travel news from BBC Radio Ulster.
That's new light out of our windows. The Spanish tourists complaining about it being too hot here. Right, look at the time of this. It's coming up to, it's 30 seconds to I'll just start that again. It's 30 seconds to 5 minutes past 11 o'clock. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme is... What's wrong?
Why didn't you just say it's on?
Will you stop?
Past 11? No, do you think people at home are actually saying, oh, it's 30 seconds? Oh, look, it's 30 seconds till 5 past 11.
There could be someone at home priming a nuclear bomb.
But they
would need to know the time, you know what I mean? Now, you can't just say it's nearly 5 past. There might be people, you know what I mean? There might be people setting off the big one out there.
Give the time now. You're going to wait now till it's exactly 5 past 11, then you're going to say it, I know rightly.
The time is exactly 11 o'clock.
No, it's not. It's 5 past 11.
Well, all right. It's exactly 5 past 11. Have you seen this?
No. Dogs out.
Dogs out. Dogs day out. You see my photograph of the dog? It's a poster. It's a very good photograph of me clutching a dog, which loves me.
Where'd you get that?
I got this. This is a gig that I'm doing. It's called Dogs Day Out.
What does that mean? What's it about?
Hosted by Gerry Anderson. It's in the Market Square in Antrim on Saturday the 23rd of August. You won't be there, you haven't been asked. It's a dog show with prizes. And
what are you doing?
I'm just blessing the dogs. There's a dog show with prizes, dog agility displays, stalls plus many other doggy attractions. It says, treat your best friend to a day out. Would you want to come with me?
No, do you see at dog shows?
Yes.
Particularly now you see it at Crufts.
Crufts.
So it's the only time we see it, right?
Yes. My hair is very unruly.
What do you look at? Do you see when the owners are running across the arena around the ring? I look at the owners.
They don't know how to run because they're not used to running. They're told to run by the judges. Because they have to make the dogs run.
Yeah.
See, the dogs are perfectly good at running on their own at home.
But why don't people should be trained to run with those dogs.
They should, but that's a step too far, I think.
When you go to the greyhounds, greyhound racing, men and women appear, white coats, they all look official.
Yes.
They're the people that lead the dogs out, the greyhounds out. There should be people at Crufts that do run with your dog. Because the owners look very stupid.
They do indeed. You're talking about dog runners?
You know when they're handling their dog.
A new category, a new occupation called a dog runner. But then again, you see, when a judge judges a dog, he wants to see the owner too.
Why?
To see if it looks like him.
Rosemary told me her last ambition was to run off and be a star. To Hollywood where the streets are gold and a long big stretch of car. All it takes is one good break and I'll be up there on the silver screen. She's wiping dishes in a dead-end diner. Well, I told you it was only a dream. And we all need a place in the sun. Time to chill and have some fun. Tommy Jr. hit the football coach when he kicked him off the team. Feel the dreams are a long way off when you stand up pumping gasoline. Chance and Tommy, you'd own this place if you'd only learned to man my car. Get the Cowboys and the 49ers, you'll never be a football star. And we all need a place in the sun. Time to chill and have some fun. We all need a place in the sun. Time to chill and have some fun. Well, I met Tommy down in Billy Bob's diner. He was calling on a D4C. Tells me that she's a fallen angel. Gotta send her straight to me. I was walking out the diner door when this lady, she caught my eye. Tommy stood up and said, that's my baby. Her name is Rosemary. And we all have a place in the sun. Time to chill and have some fun. We all have a place in the sun. Time to chill and have some. We need a place in the sun. We need a place for fun. We need a place in the sun. We need some
Oh, the Deadwood stages are rolling on over the plains, with the curtains flapping and the driver a slapping the reins. A beautiful sky, a wonderful day. Whip crack away, whip crack away, whip crack away. Oh, the Deadwood stages are heading on over the hills, where the engine arrows are thicker than porcupine quills. Dangerous land, no time to delay. So whip crack away, whip crack away, whip crack away. We're heading straight for town, loaded down with the fancy cargo, care of Wells and Fargo, Illinois. Boy, oh, the the Deadwood stage is coming on over the crest, like a homing pigeon that's a hankering after its nest. 23 miles we've covered today, so whip crack away, whip crack away, whip crack away. The wheels go turning round, homeward bound. Can't you hear 'em humming? Happy times are coming for to stay. Hey, we'll be home tonight by the light of the silvery moon, and my heart's a thumping like a mandolin, a plunking a tune. When I get home, I'm fixing to stay. So whip crack away, whip crack away, whip crack away. Whip crack away, whip crack away, whip crack away. Introducing Henry Miller, just as busy as a fizzy sarsaparilla. Ain't a showman any smarter, operates the Golden Garter, where the cream of Deadwood City come to dine. And I'm glad to say he's a very good friend of mine. Hi, Joe, say, where'd you get them fancy clothes? I know off some feller's laundry line. Hi, Bo, aren't you the prairie rose, smelling like a watermelon vine? Here's the man the sheriff watches. On his gun there's more than 27 notches. On the draw there's no one faster, and you're flirting with disaster when Bill Hickok's reputation you malign. And I'm glad to say he's a very good friend of a friend of mine. Oh, my throat's as dry as a desert thistle in May. In the Golden Garter, gonna wet my whistle today. Last of the bars, a three-legged crow. Set 'em up, Joe, set 'em up, Joe, set 'em up, Joe. Set 'em up, Joe.
Oh, I love that. That's a Deadwood stage, and before that we had the Screaming Gypsies. That's a song called In the Sun. Very good it was too. That's Doris Day, the Deadwood stage. Remember the time we tried to interview her?
Yeah, don't worry, believe you or not.
God. Hello, good morning. Take your time. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, there's a very bad line there. Can you do anything about that? No?
No, I can't.
Right then, that's that finished. What can we do for you then?
I'm looking for 4 young chipmunks.
You're looking for 4 chipmunks?
I am.
I've never had a request like that before. Are there many chipmunks in the province?
There's a lot in the province.
What kind of numbers are we talking here? Do you think there's thousands of chipmunks in the province?
No, I'd say several hundred.
Several hundred. Where did they come from? Are they imported?
Well, they're all bred here now.
They're bred, but they're not native, of course.
Originally, they would have been imported.
The chipmunks are not Northern Irelanders.
No, they're not. That's why I say originally they're imported.
Yes, okay. So you're looking for 4 young ones?
I'm looking for 4 young ones.
Uh-huh. Well, are there any, and I've never said this before, are there any chipmunk breeders in the vicinity of where you are?
There is, but they don't have any young ones.
Right. So what area are you in at the moment?
Belfast.
Okay. So you're looking for people to, if you can supply you with 4 young chipmunks.
I am indeed.
What are you going to do with them?
Well, young chipmunks, you get them very, very tame.
Yes.
And I want to take them around old people's day centres.
Oh, is that right? Yes.
As a therapy. People take cats, people take dogs. So I'm going to bring the chipmunks round.
Is that right? That's a very good idea. And people, of course, many of the people in those places would never have seen a chipmunk.
Exactly.
And it would be a novelty rather, you've seen a dog before and you've seen rabbits and stuff. But a man hands you a chipmunk, it's bound to raise an eyebrow.
Exactly. And they'll sit on your shoulder and they'll feed up your hands.
Uh-huh.
And,
all right then. That'd be really nice. And people love that. People, pensioners, old people, young people would like that too. I would love if somebody came in here with a chipmunk.
I'll bring you one up someday.
Will you?
I will indeed.
No, seriously, but please do. Maybe sometime in Belfast, drop in and show us your chipmunk.
When are you in Belfast?
I don't know. Every once in a while I do my programme for there when there's no room here. So maybe I'll tell you what, the next time I'm in Belfast, I'll say I'm in there, and maybe you could drop in.
Or if you keep my number out and give me a ring, I'll bring them down to you.
You see, the only thing is I'm being a little mischievous here. One of the reasons I'm asking you to come in is I want to see how a man gets on if he's going to try and get a chipmunk through the security man.
Oh, no, that's no problem.
That's what you think. What's that there? What's that there? It's a chipmunk. Oh, sorry, it's more of my job's worth to let chipmunks in.
I just turn around and it says one of Gerry's pups.
Yeah, tell him it's a ferret. They won't know the difference.
Yeah, tell him Gerry sent me down.
Aye, tell him you're Geordie and you're in with a ferret to spin the rickety wheel on TV. They're used to ferrets, and they'll give you a ferret harness on the way in. You can ask for a chipmunk harness. All right, listen, we'll try and get you. Seriously, though, I'm just having a bit of fun here. Anyone out there can help this man get them 4 young chipmunks? By all means, give us a ring here at 08459 555 678. Okay?
Gerry, thanks very much, mate.
Thank you very much.
God bless.
Bye. I was thinking, no, he's hit the nail on the head. I always wondered what you reminded me of. That's what it is.
What does a chipmunk look like? What's it? And from Tarzan's monkey.
Tarzan's monkey?
Aye.
Yes.
Do you know Tarzan? What do you call it? Cheetah.
Cheetah.
What was cheetah?
Cheetah was a chimpanzee.
A chimpanzee.
Yes.
Now, what's a chipmunk look like?
Try that again.
I want a chimp.
Write it down and say it slowly.
Chipmunk.
No, it's not a chimp.
Chip. As a chipmunk.
As in fish and chips.
Chipmunk. What does a chipmunk look like?
It's not unlike your common or garden squirrel. More dark in complexion.
It's like a squirrel.
Yes, more or less. It's kind of the rodent, the squirrel family. I think so. You've seen them on cartoons, of course, but that's not real life. But you've seen the chipmunks, haven't you? Remember they used to sing?
No, yeah, but they were never seen.
Those aren't real chipmunks.
They were never seen.
They were seen.
No, they were not.
Don't argue with me about chipmunks. I don't want to argue about chipmunks.
The wee boy that sits up on a man's shoulder.
That's called a parrot.
Yeah, but there's a wee chipmunk that would run all around your shoulders and up your arm.
That's the thing I'm talking about, yes. It's kind of like a squirrel, but it doesn't have the big bushy tail.
Yeah, a wee lightly made up thing.
Lightly made up small rodent, probably. Maybe not be from the rodent family, but that's a chipmunk.
And Cheetah was a chimpanzee.
Doris Day has let herself go.
To where?
She's gone down the same road as Bridget Bardot. Remember Bridget Bardot used to be a looker?
Yeah.
Well, Doris Day was more the girl next door, but she's gone down that road. Do you know what that road is?
She doesn't allow herself to be photographed.
Remember the time we tried to interview her?
I know, we could try to find her house. Edith's driving around asking people for Doris Day love.
The things we used to do. We knew nothing.
Because we were in America, we thought everybody knew where everybody else lived.
Yeah. Where does Doris live? Doris who? Doris Day.
Doris Day, she lives here, doesn't
I'm
she?
sorry, Doris who? Doris Day? No, I'm sorry. Doris Day. Oh, they're just coming on. They don't know anything.
And you set me up to knocking people's doors.
We knocked on people's doors looking for Doris Day. How silly we were. We didn't realise you had to organise these things. Agents and stuff. But Bridget Bardot has gone down the same road as... What road has Doris Day gone down that Bridget Bardot has gone down the same road as?
Recluse.
Yes, why?
Doesn't like the wrinkles in her beak.
No. Au contraire, Mr. Coyle.
Right.
They don't care about the wrinkles in their beak. Or face, as we prefer to call it here.
Right.
Or if they're listening over the border, physug. You have to be careful, you know.
I know.
Bilingual.
There's a man waiting for
broadcast.
you.
No, hold on.
Yes.
You see, what Bridget Bardot, she's had bad experiences with men. You know, I know you have too. Mm-hmm. She's had very bad experiences with men, and Bridget Bardot has declared that she no longer wants men, like Lord Brookborough doesn't want one about the place.
Right.
So she's decided to devote her life entirely to animals, because they don't.
Doris Day's been doing that for years.
That's not what I'm saying.
Sure, she was doing that when we were looking for her.
Yes, but the point is that she has continued to go down that road because she's had bad experiences too. Doris Day has had bad marriages.
Oh, she had a man. Her husband was very cruel to her.
Very cruel. Took all her money, everything.
Yes, and
wouldn't even take her out on a Friday night for a drink.
No.
Absolutely.
Oh, God love her.
You have to take them out once a week. Is it too much to ask?
No.
Take them out once a week.
She seems a very nice person too.
Lovely person. And so is Bridget Bardot.
Well,
so the two of them just let themselves go, and they deliberately do not make themselves attractive to the opposite sex, no matter what the opposite sex may be.
Doris Day must be 80.
She would be.
Well, it's very hard for her to be attractive to us.
Well, you see, the rest of them go into the knife to get the old plastic surgery, or they go down the Greta Garbo road. I want to be alone. And, they hide themselves in dark rooms and stuff so people won't see them. I mean, if Marilyn Monroe were alive today, she'd probably be dead.
That's straight. I never thought about that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's a man on 2.
Yes. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Gerry?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
That's good. Well, the 10-year-old was talking about weight. Now, you kept that poor man going there about his weight this morning. It gets to me every time people mention weight.
That's because you're probably fat.
I used to be, I still am, but I used to be 24 stone.
And what are you now?
I'm only 14.
You've lost 10 stone. That's the weight of an average spiky-haired disco dancer.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, it's all hard work, but there's an awful lot of fat people out there who try very, very, very hard to get weight off and can't.
I'm not talking about them. No, please don't get me wrong. All I'm saying is this. That we in Northern Ireland, because of our lifestyle, our sedentary lifestyle, because over the last 30 years, none of us have gone out anymore because they're afraid to be fat. A lot of people have become used sitting at home watching Coronation Street. And they don't go out. And they eat buns and chips and hamburgers. And they don't get fat. You don't get fat. Now, there's nothing wrong with being fat. Being fat is entirely different. Please believe me and say that I'm not against fat people. I'm talking about people who are out of condition. Basically. And out of condition. I'm not talking about fat, but completely out of condition. Blobby. And kind of, bad diet, no exercise. And I'm not saying I don't exercise. And I'm probably, but I try and watch what I eat. And I think that works. But then you see, all I was saying was that you don't notice that until the sun comes out. You see, because then people go out in their figure. And you see some sorry sights. And because people aren't involved in the real world, because they're watching Coronation Street, they go out and buy clothes. The people in Coronation, what are you doing? What are you doing there?
Me?
What are you doing there? You're doing something weird.
No, I'm just actually sitting here at the city hospital.
Yes.
Watching all the vans and the lorries flying in and out here. But do you know what I'm going to tell you?
Yes.
You kept that poor man, Sean Coyle, going, and the crater's only 11 stone.
I know.
You wouldn't call that heavy.
No.
You know what I mean?
But it's the shape of him.
Did you see the shape of me? Would I tell you?
What are you like? Are you pretty horrible?
If I was in India, I'd be sacred. But listen...
if you're in India, the cars be driving around you.
That's not true. Would I tell you that they done them many roundabouts on me? They got me to stand in the middle of the road and drew around me. So they did. But I have to change my name now.
Yes.
So have.
What is your name now? What is your given new name?
Well, I don't know. That's why I'm leaving it open to all your listeners to give me a new name. You know me anyway. I sing. I'm Big Jim Anderson.
Big Jim Anderson, of course, Jim. Yes, I know you now. Yes, Big Jim. Oh my God, yes. Jim, I haven't talked to you for a very long time.
A long time.
I
even sent you on a CD, and I know you haven't got it with you, but this is one that was requested 100 years ago on George Jones' show, but he never plays any of that music anyway.
Absolutely not. No.
But it was a song called Lay My Head Beneath a Rose. But sometime you can hook it out, and then you'll see how slim I am now.
Mm-hmm.
How are I?
Well, I remember you at your greatest.
Yeah, of course.
I remember you when you were quite, your avoir du poil had to be seen to be believed.
That's right. The first time I met you, I was massive. I was singing with Tom McBride. We were in a big leisure centre in Belfast, and you were there.
That's right, and you were a very big man indeed. Right. But now you're half the man you were.
I'm going to sing that song. I'm not half the man I used to be. But I don't know all the words.
That's right. You should get the words of that. Well, congratulations to you. And again, I say, I have no, if I may say, beef with fat people. That's
okay. But I tell you what I'm doing. I'm on a diet for a month.
Right.
I'm on a sponsored slim for a month. Because there's a guy from Newton Ards who's running a mini day.
Yes.
For minis from all over Ireland, they can bring them. I think a lot of people thought they could only bring them from Northern Ireland. But from anybody from the south of Ireland, and we're all one Ireland, but people still say the south of Ireland. So for anybody that wants to bring minis, old or new, till Newton Ours. We hope to have it on the 13th of September.
All right, I think I read something about that. But it's on the 13th of September. And anyone in Newton Ours, you say? Whereabouts in Newton Ours?
We're hoping to hold it in the old abattoir car park.
That's right.
And but we're waiting on the council word now just to give us a go-ahead. But everything's nearly organised, lots of sponsors and everything. But I'm going on a sponsored slim along with a boy that's run it. That's Rob Dixon, who is even bigger than me. He's 20 stone. He's lost 2 stone, but he's still 20 stone. And the two of us couldn't get out through a door together. It's terrible.
Well, there was a time when you were 4 stone heavier than him.
That's right. And absolutely. I know he could do it.
Yeah.
If he would stop eating.
Well, what about, a lot of people may be interested, how did you lose this weight? Did you use the Atkins diet?
No, I did not. I just, at 6 o'clock every night, I close the door on my mouth. And my mouth doesn't participate in any solids after 6 o'clock.
Well, did you eat plenty before 6?
Well, I would eat.
Give me through your average diet. Give me through your average intake of food.
I get up in the morning,
yeah.
And I would have a very fond of bran with a few wee, them frosted flakes on top, just to sugar them up a wee bit,
Yeah.
I shouldn't be saying that because I'm a diabetic. Don't be telling nobody now.
Okay.
But anyway, I would have that. Then at lunchtime, I would have maybe scrambled egg and toast.
It sounds
and
fairly...
at tea time, I would have, I mean, be the fish at a chip shop, but as long as you don't overdo it. That's where the problem is. Just eating, eating to your full, and like, if you have a belly like some of us, it'll be a long time before you were full. I think that's a problem, Yeah,
but a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that your big belly that you see is the size of your stomach. Stomach's relatively small. And,
that's right.
Well, that diet seems to me to be verging on the Spartan side. I mean, that's quite good. I mean, you're not stuffing yourself with grub. And then after 6, that's it.
That's it. After 6, unless I'm singing away up at the country, and some of these wee halls, when they bring you out wee, the
buns.
Pineapple treats.
The buns.
I
know. You can't resist them. And also, when you're travelling, you need a bit of something. You need to get a bit of strength.
A can of sugar-free Red Bull that gets you home.
The old Red Bull, you work on that, do you?
Oh, what I tell you, Hugo drinks about 7 Red Bulls a day.
I know, I had to pick him off the ceiling the other day.
But you tell me, 7 of them.
I know.
And now, I would drink at the very most 2. Now, but you can get the sugar-free stuff now, and it's far nicer. It's not as sweet. It's absolutely brilliant.
Red Bull, that stuff's like Benzedrine. I remember. Do you know? I remember I met Joey Dunlop's ex-man team leader, Davy Wood. Davy drinks that constantly.
Well, it's very bad for you if you drink it in them great amounts,
Well, he's run around like a flea on adrenaline.
Right. Well,
yeah.
I could do it and run around on adrenaline.
I'd be afraid to drink Red Bull. I'm bad enough the way it is.
What?
Probably
sure, you're as fit as a fiddle. You don't need to lose any weight. You
Indeed,
don't need
yes,
to do
I am.
anything.
Yes.
You're perfect.
I'm very fit, yeah. And, people who look at me admire me a great deal.
I would say so.
For the svelte lines and smooth lines of my body.
It sounds as though, Jim, it sounds as though we're going to talk about Gerry for a while here now.
Not
necessarily, no.
I watched him in that weightlifting program with that beautiful girl from Bangor, I think she was.
Yes, Lauren, I think. Oh, no, you're talking about the girl from Bangor, the blonde hair, the...
Yes.
Oh, yes. Glenda, was it?
I just looked at the two of you together and I said, they would not make a lovely couple.
That's what Gerry said too.
I said that to her, just as she got into the taxi and tell the driver to... drive fast.
But
yeah,
I thought we could get down and get a figure like Sean's, I'd be happy, man.
Yeah, there you are.
You'd be in intensive care.
No, I wouldn't say it nice.
Let's just get back a moment.
And talk about you.
No, not me. No, I do think that myself and the beauty queen would have been a beautiful couple, and we could have bred, couldn't we?
You could, yes.
Yeah, and we could have had great rounded children, children who had my brains and her body.
Well,
or maybe,
there we are.
supposing they had my body and her brains.
Yeah, and they
have to get them put down.
Chipmunks, they would have been looking for Gerry's offspring.
Indeed, yes. Okay, well, listen, Jim, nice to talk to you again. I'm afraid we'll have to go now. And it's well done, and I hope you lose another. Oh, no, hold on. If you lose another 10 stone, you'll be only 4 foot tall.
Will I tell you, I'm only 5'4" now.
I know, that's what I mean. You'll shrink.
But whenever people come along and say, Big Jim, what's big about you? They were looking for somebody 6'2" or something, you know?
Yeah, why did they call you Big Jim? You should always carry a photograph around with you.
I do. I'm very vain. I carry about a case full of them.
All right. Well, Jim, listen, send me your CD and we'll have to give you a bit of a lash.
You've got it. I sent it.
Tell him. You're not allowed to shout at me.
Who? Me?
Don't.
I wouldn't shout at you. Is he shouting at you?
No,
Is Sean shouting at you?
No, you shouted at me there.
Oh, no, it was just a lorry went by and I was scared in case he wouldn't hear me.
That's okay. I just asked Sean to talk to you, to tell him. I don't like telling people that they can't shout at me.
Is that right?
He usually
Gerry,
tells them.
You get enough people shouting at you all day, and I wouldn't shout at you.
I understand.
There's no way I would shout at you.
I understand that, Jim.
You do enough suffering there every morning, and that Geordie ringing you up, and then them people fighting with you over whitewash. What I tell you, personally, whenever I heard them talking, I says, "Now that's a load of whitewash."
What was it our Lord said? Suffer little chipmunks to come unto me.
That is right.
That's right.
Very correct.
If I'm quoting him correctly.
What?
If I'm quoting him correctly.
No, but
okay.
now you have your thoughts in the Bible, which isn't wrong.
Maybe so.
That's right. Which isn't wrong.
Suffer little ferrets to come unto
me. Well, would it tell me? Do you see, Geordie?
You're a religious man, Jim, are you?
Smelly, stinking things.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever smelled them?
Smelled what?
Them ferrets are stinking.
Listen.
Oh, they're like foxes. Oh.
I have smelled a ferret and lived. There's nothing. The smell of a ferret is not a great thing. A smell of a ferret would waken the dead. You know what they should do instead of smelling salts in boxing matches? You should, when a guy's knocked out, you should just get a ferret to run under its nose.
Well, I would say, I bet you Geordie has hundreds of them stick-on smelly things all over the house.
I'm sure he has.
I would say so.
Then again,
I would say has the inside of the living room whitewashed and everything.
All right. Well, he has indeed. Do you want to know how to make? No, so that's another story. Listen, Jim, go away. See you later.
Listen, God bless you.
Bye.
See you again.
Bye. Hello, good morning, Clive.
Hello, Gerry.
Yes, how are you, sir?
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
I just want to tell you a quick one.
Yes?
Bit of a giggle here with your security man. You're saying that the chipmunks wouldn't get by.
Yes, hard to get a chipmunk by as a BBC security man.
Well, let me tell you, Gerry, I went down with tickets for a show.
Yes?
And I went through the front doors there on Armour Avenue.
Yes?
And there's a security man standing in front of me and the girl to the left behind the desk.
Yes?
And I said, I've got to give these in for the ticket unit.
Yes?
And the Jolsworth security man says, round the back.
Right.
So I came out, turned left, went down Lennon House and into your back entrance.
Yeah, it's quite a way away, yeah.
So, yes. So I looked at the BBC, so I walked in here and up the stairs and I was in the BBC bar.
Oh, yeah, the BBC club, yes.
Yes, there's a club.
Yes.
And it was wide open, but there was nobody there.
You should have ordered a pint.
This is obviously in that place. So I come down the stairs and frighten the wits out of a wee woman who just come out of a wee place as you go through the door there.
Exactly, yeah. Well, the news team mustn't have been up yet.
Right.
So you went to the big gate next door?
Go left again.
Let me guess what they said to you.
Well, she was that frightened. She just oh no, left.
Right.
Sat me down to the back gate.
Let me guess what they said to you.
Oh, go ahead.
Go around the front.
No.
What
no, better than that.
What?
Oh, this is a cracker.
Right.
So I go to the back gate, and the security man in the back gate's chatting to somebody. And he must have thought he knew me. So he waved me on in.
Oh, great.
So I walks in and goes through these doors, and I'm now walking around the corridors of the BBC. There's people in offices and people walking by me talking to me.
You could have killed Walter.
Could have killed Walter.
You could have assassinated Hugo.
Could have killed George. I was on all a favour. And I headed round. And the next thing is, where am I? I'm standing behind the security man, beside the girl.
The boy
on this side of the counter.
Right, you're behind the barrier?
I'd walked right round to the front of the BBC behind the barrier now.
And what did he say then?
He turned around and I said, I've got these tickets. And the girl nearly fell off the chair.
Brilliant.
And this boy just went red.
What a great story. What a great story. So you flanked them.
And he said, I'll take them. I'll give them for you. And he took them off me.
Did they not ask you how you got there?
They were not flabbergasted.
He couldn't believe it.
They couldn't believe it. I walked the whole way around the BBC looking at all these wee offices. Having a wee downer to myself.
And then you had tapped him on the shoulder and said, by the way, I've got these tickets.
He was actually standing behind him. He was looking at the door, Mr. George was.
Oh, brilliant.
Excuse me.
That's a great story.
And he turned around and he fainted, and the girl nearly fell off the chair. The wee girl, as you go through the door, sits on the left there.
Yes, that's right. Well, how did you get out again? Did he let you out the front, or did you go around
the front? Come around here.
You should have run round the back again.
I should have been round the back and up that pub. It looked very nice.
What a great story. But then again, we have to be serious here. This is a breach of security.
It was a very breach of security, and it was a while ago, so I won't get anybody into trouble,
Oh, no. Sure, anybody could do that.
But it was, yes, it was. I thought it was, so comical, and Mr. George, he could have taken the tickets off me,
I know, that's great. Oh, well, you see, you used your initiative, and you trod where no man trod before.
Exactly.
You boldly went.
I could have maybe been lucky, Joe. You could have been down there maybe on one of your wee trips to Belfast. I could have nipped in and had a cup of tea with you.
You could have arrived in the studio and sat there beside me.
and give you the tickets, but I know you'd have put the tickets because it was the George Jones show.
Yes, I would have put them in the bin. All right, well, thank you for that.
I thought it would cheer everybody up this morning.
No, that's a good story. That's a great story. We shall treasure that one.
Good enough, Joe.
Okay.
All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye. Wouldn't you love to see the security man's face when he right behind him?
Aye.
Hey.
Oh, well.
Hey.
The security man was doing his job.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And let us not denigrate any employee of the BBC. You're only trying to do their job in the face of great tribulation and trial.
Hello.
Good morning, yes?
Hello.
Yes?
Jerry.
Yes.
Charlie McCusker here, Craigavon.
Good morning, Charlie McCusker from Craigavon.
I was on with you, it was last week. You put a call out about the long lady's grave up back of O'Meath on the Cooley Mountain.
Yes.
And I was wanting to know if there's any of your listeners would know anything about it.
Yeah, just repeat that again. I just missed that. What did you say? I put out a call out for the long lady's grave?
Is right.
I don't remember that. Were you sure it was me?
Yes.
Because I was off for a couple of days, wasn't I? Are you sure it was me?
No, you put it out. You put my name out what I was ringing in about.
Oh, that's okay. No, maybe it's something
I was up there last Thursday and was standing at her grave.
Yes.
And she was Spanish or French. And she was about 15 or 16 foot long.
Well, that's quite long for a lady.
And I was standing at her grave, and it would be that, and it's all done in nice granite stones.
Yes.
And there had been a headstone up, but the hooligans has took it away.
The boys in the baseball caps, yeah.
It was Newry and Mourne Council that put this up.
Yeah.
And there's also a connection I found out about if you're going out the Monaghan Road out Armagh, there's a pub called Long Nancy's.
Yes.
And I think that's a connection of it, but maybe some of your listeners would be able to enlighten us
obviously
a bit more on it.
Obviously some kind of legend arisen from the location and condition of the grave.
It must be. If you're coming out of Dundalk and take the back road for O'Meath, you go out over the mountain, and there's a wee lay-by, and that's where her grave is.
All right. I'm sure many local historians would know a little bit more about it than I do.
They might be able to ring in and let us know.
Yes, maybe if anyone out there has little folk knowledge of their local area, including information about the Long Lady, give us. And what is Long Nancy's is the name of the pub?
Long Nancy's out the Monaghan Road out Armagh.
Sounds like a place you could go.
And there's a connection there somewhere.
I'm sure you'd have a good pint of stout in there.
Well, it wouldn't take her to be serving.
No, she'd have to bend over. Then again, that wouldn't be a bad idea, maybe. All right, then. So we'll
thank you.
Pardon?
No.
What?
Where's Charlie?
Where's Charlie?
Is Charlie away?
Is the wee sailor gone? Charlie's gone, yes. Yeah, Charlie hung up.
Yeah.
Of course he did. He usually does when we finish conversations. Yeah. Very good show today, Sean. Thank you.
Is it over?
Is it? No, it's not. There's 20 minutes to go. Sorry.
Cleanse Any chance of singing from the heart? You clowns just don't know where to start. Any chance of jumping off a bridge? You're stealing candy from the kids. In a laboratory, evil is six scientists are hard at work. By fjord in Scandinavia, they create the latest mania. Every single song is calculated by the money makers, and it drives me crazy. Disco is over, the DJ's been murdered. The disco is over, the DJ's been murdered. It's over, the DJ's been murdered. The disco is over, the DJ's been murdered. The disco is over, the DJ's been murdered. The disco is over, the DJ's been
That's the Revs from Donegal, Death of a DJ. Right, some emails here. It says here, have you heard the new band from Omagh called The Basement? 3 young lads who are now based in Liverpool. No, I haven't. They're very good, apparently, said Cathal Magnum Symphony. Noel Gallagher says they're the missing link between Bob Dylan and the Pogues. I don't really think I'd like to be that. Look, there's photographs of chipmunks. I was right. Look, there's a chipmunk. It looks a little bit like Stephen Watson. It's a nice little chipmunk. They're a squirrel-like, but they don't have the bushy tails. And Just Molly says, I'm really surprised and annoyed that you would try and tell a well-rounded woman what to wear. I'm not trying to tell a well-rounded woman what to wear. I'm just saying that sometimes you don't see what I see. What do you know about anything? You only work for Radio Foil. So I'm moving to downtown. But don't worry, Sean will tune in for you. So goodbye, Gerald Magella Anderson. Sissy name anyway. You see, there's a listener lost. Sorry to let you know, sir, the BBC does not do advertisement. I thought you would have known that. The man looking for the ad about the army would be better checking with UTV. Have a nice day. Well, I don't know. And so Liz and Sean write, and they say, we'd be very interested to hear what you think about men with hairy backs going on holiday. I think they should stay at home. I've seen many's a hairy back. And I think, something should be done. We're going on holiday next week, and we have a debate/argument about hairy backs. I think my husband should have his waxed. Well, electrolysis is a wonderful thing, but he's mad against it. All the usual arguments. It's for girls, etc. Being a masculine sort of a guy, he doesn't realize what his back looks like. His mother agrees with me and says that she wouldn't put sun cream on his hairy back, and he's her own flesh and blood. I'll tell you what, if your mother won't put suntan lotion on your back, there's very little chance you're going to get Kylie Minogue to do it. We then said that we would iMac it for him. That's not the big screen in the Odyssey, by the way. Anyway, we'd like to hear what you two trendsetters think. It's turning from a healthy debate into a kind of unhealthy argument. He's listening now before he goes to bed. He was on nights last night. That's, have you any...
What? Sorry,
it'd be great. I know, here's the thing.
I don't know if you were talking.
I don't know if you've considered this or not. No, do you know what I don't know if you've considered this or not. You know what I think would be great? If you'd listen to the programme an odd time, and then you would know what I'm talking about.
Well, we have to talk from time to time.
What were you talking about? I saw the two of you nattering away there. What were you talking about?
Just saying, what are you going to do this afternoon? Are you doing anything special tonight? Are you going out anywhere? I've just seen the Geraldine, her and her husband going anywhere. Are you going to do anything? The weekend if the weather holds. What plans have you made?
Supposing whilst you were talking to Geraldine like that about what you were social, supposing I'd fainted in the meantime. Or what would you do?
Geraldine would have gone in there and helped you.
No, but No, I don't think you get the point. You see, you're supposed to help me.
We are helping you.
By talking about where you're going the weekend?
That was just a wee aside during...
No, I saw you talking away. That's why I put
Sally's
on
one.
Is she? Right, I have a lovely poem here. I'm going to read it before we end.
Well, go and talk to Sally first.
I will, yeah. Don't be so pushy. Why don't you just talk to Gerald and keep your nose out of it?
All of a sudden?
Yeah.
Right.
Mary Dankleson's in Ward 20 in the Ulster Hospital. Get well soon. Do you remember Mary Dankleson?
Mary Dankelson was she the lady on the plane?
Mm-hmm. She's, what?
Was she the lady on the plane?
What lady on the plane?
There was a whole story about her and you on a plane.
That's right.
Wasn't it? She married a guy from Holland, or else she's...
Mr. Dankelson.
Yes.
Yes.
There's some connection.
There's some connection.
You in an aeroplane. And so. Mary Dankelson.
Yes. Well, I hope she gets well soon. She's in Ward 20, Ulster Hospital. That's from Pauline. And I have to say hello to Bernie Morrissey and wish her a happy 33rd wedding anniversary. That's from her husband, Sean. And I see the way I said Sean there. Did you notice that? Sean. I was listening to the man in New Wireless the other day. And do you know what he said?
No.
He said development.
What?
Development.
When was the last time you were up a ladder?
The last time I was up a ladder, I fell and nearly broke my shoulder.
When?
Oh, 2 years ago.
Well, was it outside?
No, it was inside.
No, I mean outside ladder.
You know that big house I live in?
Yes.
Well, you see, our ceilings are very high.
No.
And I was asked to put up a kind of a tapestry. And I said, you'll never get that up there, love. And I was talking to the girl next door.
Yes.
And she said, why don't you get up in your ladder like a man and help me instead of stand down there watching me do it? You know the way they talk to you.
Yeah. But this sounds like a step ladder.
It's a step ladder. No, it was a real ladder.
A real thingy ladder.
Oh, yeah. So I got up on top of it and I fell off it and bounced off the banisters. It was very, very fortunate I didn't need the attentions of intensive care and casualty.
Yes.
Could you please say hello to... Why?
No, I just thought about...
There.
I hate ladders.
You do indeed.
I have a great fear of ladders.
Have you?
Ladders are grand when you're going up a ladder.
I think they're great for going up.
I don't like coming down.
It's very hard to come down.
Isn't it?
It is indeed.
What about the lady on one?
I don't know.
Sally's her name.
I know. Could you say hello to Dawn and Sandra in Lisburn who are probably doing the wasp dance? You know what the wasp dance is? You know that one? You see, I did the wasp dance yesterday.
No, you don't do that. That's the mistake that people make.
In other words, you stand there on the wasp, you go, you jump around.
Yeah, if a wasp comes around you, or a bee, just sort of move away from it. Just move slowly away from it. It'll do you no harm at all. Once you start swiping at the wasp, then the wasp gets angry.
The way you'd move away, like from Hugo or somebody.
Just move to one side, exactly. Just move away.
Rathlin Sports Day is on Sunday from 1 to 5. The ferries depart from... what are they talking about? What are they talking about? The ferries depart from Ballycastle? What does that mean? Does that mean a boat?
I don't know.
Or,
there's a man on one. No, there's a lady on one.
The ferries will depart from Ballycastle. The ferries will depart from Ballycastle at 10 and 12 and they'll be back
good.
At 3:30 and 5:30.
As long as they come back. We Sally's on one.
I know she is. We better talk to her quick.
I know.
Warringstown caller is looking for a miniature Pomeranian pup. You try and say that. Go on, say that.
Warringstown
caller is looking for a
miniature Pomeranian pup.
I thought that was hard to say. You said it with no trouble. It's hard enough, isn't it? Let the people at home say it. Miniature Pomeranian pup. Go ahead. Quiet. Yeah, they're all saying it. Yeah. It's not hard at all. A caller is looking for a copy of the Robbie Williams programme, which was on TV on Saturday night. Did you see that?
No. God. Are they real tattoos?
Of course they are.
Are they? I hate tattoos with a passion.
I know.
I want to hit men who've got tattoos, but I'm afraid of.
I want to strike them,
I do. I want to tap them on the shoulder and say, why did you get that done?
That's because
you have an idea what that looks like. That's because horrible that looks like.
No, it's not horrible. It's good enough for the Tahitians. It's good enough for me. See, you're from the old school.
I'm not into tattoos.
I know, you're from the old school. You're a 60s person. Of course, I'm open to everything. The Long Woman's Grave.
Oh, you don't have a tattoo?
I don't have a tattoo. I choose not to, but I do not denigrate those who have them like you do. I don't want to walk up the street to people with tattoos and strike them. I'm quite liable to say, love your tattoo.
No.
I actually was tattooed. I was tattooed temporarily.
You were not.
I was. On the Isle of Man.
Oh,
No. A man did it on me.
Did he? Sally's in one.
The Long Woman's Grave. Let's get this out of the way here. She was a Spanish lady married to an Irish chieftain. She was homesick, so the legend goes, and died of a broken heart. And was buried at the top of a mountain facing the sea. No wonder she was homesick. She's 15 foot tall. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Gerry.
Yes, who's that?
It's Sally.
Sally, I'm sorry for keeping you awake, Sally.
Crack
Can we
was
do?
good.
I'm sorry for keeping you.
You're all right. Gerry, I'll tell you what I'm phoning up about. You were talking there a moment ago about about Robbie Williams.
Yes.
I'm going down to Dublin tomorrow to the concert.
Do you know how many people are going to be there?
Seemingly 125,000.
That's a lot of people.
Isn't it?
Are you happy enough? Do you think you'll get home?
I don't know. That's what I'm actually phoning you up about, to see if you can give me some help, because I've phoned up Northern Ireland Railways, and surprise, surprise, they're not putting on any trains.
Absolutely.
And I cannot get anywhere to stay in Dublin. And saying you're such a great man about Dublin, I was wondering, would you know of anywhere that I could stay?
Well, I used to have a flat. I still have the key to it.
Do you?
Yeah.
That'll be well.
I had a flat in a place called Hasteby Street off South Circular Road. And in 1975, I left it to go to America for 6 weeks and I never came back. So as far as I know, there's a flat there that I still have the key for it. And, you know, there's milk in the fridge. Mm-hmm. And it's been there for 28 years.
Well, that'd be lovely.
I think somebody eventually broke in and fumigated it. But I have a fine wardrobe of clothes still sitting there. I never went back. I could give you the key and you could try it. It's 35 Hasteby Street.
That'll do well.
Flat 2.
Uh-huh.
See, if you might get in, you know.
You never know.
I don't know. Seriously. Let me think. Have you tried, do you know what's very good? And a lot of people don't know about this. Have you tried Trinity College?
No.
Try that. Trinity College, during the summer, the rooms that they use for students, they hire them out. No, it's a bed and breakfast operation, and a lot of people don't know about that.
Right.
Why don't you try that?
I will.
I stayed there. It's very, very good, and you're right in the centre of the city.
Yeah.
You know where Trinity College is.
It's just that the Northern Ireland Railways is putting on trains to go down, but there's nothing to come back. The last one's at 8:30 or something like that at night.
You mean there's no trains coming back?
No, not on the Saturday night. No, there's nothing until the Sunday morning.
Oh, so much for supply and demand.
Yeah.
Isn't that very, very poor?
Isn't it?
I mean, there's probably maybe 50,000 people going down there from Northern Ireland and they can't get back.
Yeah. I reckon a third of the people will be from here.
Isn't that so typically Northern Ireland?
Yeah.
Nobody sat down and said, hold on a minute, boys, what about these people? Do you think you can get home?
That's right.
Oh, well, listen, try that, but I'll try it quickly because maybe perhaps there are people ringing there already.
Okay.
Try that. It'll be in the book. Ring the, I don't know, Wordfalcher, whatever it is. At Trinity College, anyway.
Okay.
And you might just be lucky because people don't tend not to know about that.
Okay, that's brilliant, Gerry. Thanks for your help.
If you've any trouble, come back to me and we'll try and get you somewhere else.
Okay, Gerry, thanks. Enjoy the show.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Hello, Frank.
Hi, Gerry.
Are you going down to see Robbie Williams?
No, indeed. His father's a great personal friend, though. His father's one of the compères on the Warner circuit here in the UK.
Was his father a redcoat?
He was, yes. That's gone back many, many years, actually.
And you knew his father?
Well, I still know his dad. Actually, in fact, I'll be working in October in one of the big places here that's owned by Warner's. See, it used to be Pontins and Butlands and so, but Warner's bought everybody out.
That's
so
right.
It's the one circuit now.
I'm just thinking, I did see his father on a programme the other night. They were auditioning 3 people to take part in this video, and his father was actually part of one of the judges, and he seemed a very jolly sort of a showbiz guy.
He is, right, lovely man.
Yeah.
Lovely
Listen,
man
what
indeed.
about you yourself? How's your old ticker? You've got a pacemaker now, haven't you?
Yes, I have indeed. Yeah, it's working very, very well. Funny enough, a wee bit of a hiccup this morning whether it keeps, but it's one of the new biventricular ones, so it's very, very good.
So how does it affect you at all, if indeed? Did you feel better?
I was able to watch the operation, actually.
Yeah?
What happens is there's a muscle just above your breast and they cut it open and they drop the pacemaker. And a very funny incident the other day. They gave me a demonstration model. This fella came over from Minneapolis, who's the clinical engineer. And he was watching it, and my electrodes go through the veins and up the arteries and round the gibberels and come back into the pacemakers.
Round the gibberels, eh?
I was telling this fella, they give me one of the, I said, I have a pacemaker. And I took it out and showed him it, and he was a god. He was, shouldn't you have that in? He thought, he just carried it in his pocket and you had a bit of a spasm. You just tucked it back in and put the electrodes in the way you went.
Like a radio.
And I couldn't imagine. But it was happening there this morning about you talking about the shorts.
Oh, yes. Do you wear
John
shorts?
Bennett wears shorts.
I know, that's what put it into my head, yeah.
Have you ever seen them?
I have indeed.
The last time I seen legs like his, they were hanging out of a nest.
Last time I seen it was in the Desert Rats.
Well, then you were talking about dogs. That was very interesting.
Yes.
Because do you remember those two, and the weather, imagine somebody complaining about the weather.
How do you see 2 days weather and they start complaining?
Do you remember those 2 dreadful winters we had? Mike and Bernie.
Do you ever hear the story about, apparently it's quite apocryphal.
Yeah, I know the story. I'll go on from there, though. It's about the Glasgow Empire.
Yeah, I'm not...
yeah, it's part of history.
I know, but...
The other one was Des O'Connor. That was even funnier.
No, tell him that one again.
But it was just Mike and Bernie were playing the Glasgow Empire.
Yeah.
And Bernie came out first and put his head through the curtains and went... Eee. And someone shouts, F off. And the next thing, Mike came out and he put his head through the curtain and somebody says, good God, there's 2 of them.
I love that.
Aye.
I should know better than to tell stories when
well,
you're
the other one was, it was a friend of mine, you trained his dog. It was, well, he's dead now, Colin Crompton.
Yes.
One of the old comedians. And he would say to his dog, you know, come on now, you know, doing your naughties on the paper.
Yes.
On paper. Do it on paper. Not while I'm reading it. Well, I had a new lawn. I had a beautiful new lawn done here.
Yes.
In the front of my house. It's absolutely... A bloody big German Shepherd came around and done his whole week's wages on it.
Yes.
And then that evening the Shepherd came around and he done it as well.
Uh-huh. Well, you see, it goes to show you that your lawn is open to all. I tell you what, the old pacemaker hasn't done you much harm anyway.
I'm going over there on Tuesday, a television show there for Derek Davis.
Derek Davis, is that our Derek Davis or another Derek
Davis?
Yeah,
he's very funny, because the first time I went, we had a debate on is it obscene to be funny for money at Queen's University. He was one of the great speakers, probably one of the greatest speakers we ever had in debating they beat on 2 occasions, they beat Oxford.
Yeah, he was the head of, was he not head of the Debating Society when he was a student?
Absolutely.
And Queen's, well,
and then I'd done a show for him in Dublin, and one of the gags I told, wasn't a gag, it was a true story. I was an apprentice electrician up the Whitewell Road, working up there, and I came out to dig a hole for this cable.
Yes.
And there was a cable actually there, and I put the spade through the cable, and it lifted me about 10 foot more. Fortunately, I fell onto this big pile of sand, and I was telling him the story. And I was telling him about putting it, and suddenly all the lights went out in Northern Ireland.
Right.
And the lights went out in Telefishern. It was a good 3 minutes before they got them back on again.
Right.
I don't know how, everybody thought it was a joke.
And it wasn't a joke at all.
It actually happened, yeah.
Just goes to show you never know what you're putting your spade through.
And then I was badly injured out in the Middle East. Yeah, well, and I was lying there for 2 days and the door opened and Derek walked in.
What was he doing there?
Well, he was doing the Rosa Killarney show.
In Dubai?
In Dubai, yeah. Because I'm going out there for George Best has I want to hope George sees the error of his ways, I know it's not the easiest thing in the world. It's a dreadful disease, alcoholism,
Oh, yeah, sure. People don't realise it.
George is running a big one out in Dubai in September, so I'm going out.
Oh, that's great. Does George do that on a regular basis?
He's a great lad, He
is, surely, because we've met him a couple of times.
It's the easiest thing in the world to condemn someone who, there's an old quotation among alcoholics, one drinks too many and 20 is not enough.
And you're a man, you enjoyed a wee bevy yourself an odd time. So
I still do, actually, but now I've had to chuck it. I know a glass of red wine, maybe, and being the last man home from the party, that's all finished.
You stand in the kitchen talking, eating the sausage
Well,
rolls
I'm
now.
77 this year, and I feel as fit as I'm walking every day now. Another 3 weeks, I'll be able to play golf. I'm going off to Spain to work anyway.
You do, right? You look about 60, Frank, the last time I saw you.
Well, I've taken off two. All I want now, Gerry, I'm going out to Spain, and I'm going to tell absolutely no one.
All right.
I'm going to go to a plastic surgeon and get the double chin removed.
Right. Frank.
And the lines down the side of the face, and then ring Steven Spielberg for a romantic lead.
We have to go, Frank.
What a pity.
See you later.
Of course you will.
Bye.
Bye, Gerry.
92 to 95 FM.
And 1341.